It's all going wrong from the start. We'll get that. As entertaining as the first speaker was, it raises the question, when you're looking at politics, do you want someone who's entertaining, or do you want someone who's dependable? Do you want someone who makes the joke and doesn't always quite get it right, particularly on the technical details of CAD drawings? Because the D in CAD actually is drawing. Computer-aided drawing. We worked that out in the 80s. Or do you want someone, as they say, who can understand the laws? But it's an interesting question because lawyers don't actually write the laws, nor do politicians write the laws. As we're told in the media, it's the faceless men of the back room that write the laws. Yet conveniently, they've turned up today to face the music. I too agree with the town hall style debate. I like to wave my hands around Julia Gillard style. And sometimes, just sometimes, I like to run along the stage. Unfortunately, it's a little tight at the moment, so I'll leave that to the other side. But there's lots of interesting things that have come out of this, and I think the point that we really want to get to is you've missed the point of what a bad engineer is, or a bad politician. And let's assess the current political climate and see who really would make better current politicians. I'll outlay my biases from the start. Hands up again. Getting the feel for the audience, as I'm told. On Gruen Nation? Yes, Gruen Nation. Now, if the Rudd government could be classified as anything, it's two things. It's the ability to generate 100 reports that no one ever reads, not even the lawyers, and we pay them through the tooth to do that. And it's to make grandiose claims that can never be substantiated. Let me name a few for you. Closing the gap, solving climate change. Have we achieved either? Not that I've seen. So let's look at what engineers can do on that. When you need a report with substance that clearly favours one policy position, where would you go to? Someone that doesn't know the details, or someone that can write whatever you want and make it sound convincing, and you won't even understand the detail behind it, let alone know that there's appendices that include all the important assumptions underlying the CAD drawing. As a profession, some of us have managed to make an income out of telling one side of the story in front of the court. We are, as they call them in the know, an expert witness. And who better to make grandiose and unsubstantiated claims than engineers? Let me give you an example. We'll reduce urban traffic congestion. We'll have price-competitive renewable energy. And my personal favourite, we'll return to the glorious days of manufacturing, where everyone knows what a good pallet is. Yet where's the evidence? Time of day tolling on the Harbour Bridge has increased traffic by 2.6%. New South Wales are planning on building 2 new coal-fired power stations, and it pains me to say it, but the truth and the writing is on the wall. Holden closed their manufacturing plant in South Australia, and Ford are probably on the way in Geelong. And I only can refer to what Andrew said previously, where we don't necessarily agree with our own views that we state at this point in time. Now, don't even get me started on costing projects, because if one government's ever failed, we don't know our numbers from front to back, but we do know where to put the decimal point, usually after the second figure. But beyond the reports and the hypes, politicians love nothing more than being behind the cameras and capturing them dressed up in a safety vest and a hard hat. You know it's true. You've seen the photos. The fish market, the minings, we've all been there. But secretly, who really does know what's going on when dressed up? Every site engineer knows that people standing around, pointing at things, big maps they can't read, often a CAD drawing, is usually best served being in the demountable, enjoying the international roast latte, which our friends on the other side wouldn't know. That is in fact where you put the boiling water from the Zip hot water heater into the cheapest possible instant coffee. It froths itself. It's something only a real engineer or real politician's ever enjoyed on site. Grinned and bared it and said, geez, that tastes good. Can I have a second? But the fact of the matter is engineers look far better in safety gear and lawyers masquerading around in their French cuff shirts, trying to look the part. But in terms of bipartisan politics, I've gone there today. I've got the French cuffs. I'm with you. We all know that politicians are hard-working local members in touch with the heartbeat of the community. Have we heard that before? Sure. And let's look at David Bradbury from the landlocked electorate of Lindsay. Up in Darwin, looking tough, border patrol. He knows there's an invasion on. Or does he? No. He knows there's nothing better than a political junket paid by the taxpayer. And who better to take a site visit when we don't need it on a Friday afternoon at 11 o'clock in the morning? An engineer. And when do we turn up? Monday morning. And when do we go back? Tuesday morning. Because we forgot to take the measurement. Can you guess what it was for? The cab drawing. Speculation is rife about the result of what Saturday means. Is it a green slide, as Bob Brown proclaimed? Was there a protest vote? Secretly, I think we all want Mark Latham back behind the dispatch box, but there's one thing that cannot be denied. All these insinuations can be argued one way or another, but what's beyond debate, is Australia had one choice on Saturday, and that was to elect a lawyer. And what did we do? We rejected both of them.